Hi guys. So for this afternoon's lesson, it's going to be a video lesson, and we're going to continue discussing our shapes. Now for this lesson, you are going to need your Thinking Maps pad and a pencil. So please pause to make sure you have those items. Okay, so hopefully you have your Thinking Maps pad, and what we're going to do is there are things that we're going to be writing and adding to our Thinking Maps tree maps that we've started on shapes, and you're going to have to turn that in so that way you can get credit for this afternoon session. So if I see that you've completed the thinking map and you have the information that I talked about in the video on your thinking map tree, then I know that you've watched the video and I will give you credit for this afternoon session. So let's get started. Okay, so we have been talking about our shapes, and so far we've looked at the circle, the square, and the triangle. So we're going to be looking at the remaining shapes for this lesson. The first shape is the star, the star. So what you're going to do in your Thinking Maps tree map for your 2D shapes, you're going to add the next branch, so a line that says star, and then underneath you're going to draw a picture of a star. Now, if for some reason you don't have enough room on your Thinking Maps from the other information that you have on there, that's fine. Go to the back of that page and you can continue with your tree. So draw your main line, and then you can just start with star as your first branch. Okay, so looking at star. And again, anytime that you need to stop and pause the video to write something down or to catch up, please do that. So remember we talked about shapes having different features. One of those features are the sides or the edges. And so here for our star, our 5-pointed star, if we count the number of sides it has, you'll see that it has 10 sides. So on a 5-pointed star, it has 10 sides. And our vertices, what are those again? Well, if you said the corners, you would be correct. It's where the two edges or the two sides meet that form that corner or the vertice. Can you count and tell me how many corners our star has? That's right, 5. And I mentioned it was a 5-pointed star. So if we count, we can see that it has 5 vertices or 5 corners and 10 sides. So what we're going to do is we're going to be adding that information to our tree map. So go to your tree map underneath the word star. You're going to draw a picture of a 5-pointed star. Draw the best that you can. Then underneath that, we're going to add our 2 pieces of information of our features. So we know that on a 5-pointed star, there were 10 sides. And 5 corners. So we're going to add those 2 pieces of information to our tree map. Okay, so now what I want you to do is I want you to think about some things in real life that have this same shape. Can you guys think of at least one thing? Look around your room. Look around maybe the house. Stop the video. Take a walk around the house. And come back and see if you can think of one item that you can add to the next line that is a shape of a star. So this is something that you thought of yourself. And then I'm going to share with you some of my shapes, and we're going to add one of those shapes to your tree map. So you'll have an item that's yours and you'll have an item that's mine. Okay, so hopefully you looked around your room, looked around the house, you found something that might be in the shape of a star. You added that to your tree map. Now I'm going to show you some of the objects that I found that can be star shaped. So some of the objects that are shaped like a star. Well, we can have a starfish, right? Is shaped like a star. Again, 5 points, 10 sides. We can have various puzzles or mazes be shaped like stars. Glasses, right? Fun glasses that can be star shaped. We can have crackers that can be shaped like stars. So certain foods. We can have a pillow, like a throw pillow that can be shaped like stars. Maybe you guys even tried star fruit. That's shaped like a star. So these are things that I thought of that were shaped like stars. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to pick one thing that I thought of here on my list, and I'd like you to add that to your tree map. So starfish, mazes or puzzles, glasses, pillow, and crackers. Pick one and add that to your list. So on your tree map, you should have the name of the shape, the drawing of the shape, that it has 10 sides and 5 corners, and then you're going to add 2 things underneath that. One is something that you saw in your house or you thought of that is star-shaped, and the other, you're going to pick something that I wrote down. So I'm just going to pick pillow, but if you pick something else, that's fine. Okay, so these are features of our star and some items that are shaped like that in real life. Now you're going to go to the next branch of your tree map. You are going to write the word rectangle, rectangle, next to star. And then underneath that, you're going to draw a picture of a rectangle. Okay, so once you've done that, let's take a look at our features. So if we're looking at our rectangle, we see that it's a little bit different from our square if we were to compare the two. Now, first I want to count how many edges or sides my rectangle has. So let's do that together. 1, 2, 3, 4. My rectangle has 4 sides, just like a square. Okay, now let's count the number of vertices or corners. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4. My rectangle has 4 corners and 4 sides. Well, wait, there was another figure that had 4 corners and 4 sides as well. And that was the square. The square also had 4 corners and 4 sides. So what is the difference between a square and a rectangle? Well, let's take a look. Remember when we said that for a square, all 4 sides are equal. So all the edges, right, all the lines are equal. They're the same measurement. Do we have that in our rectangle? Are all 4 sides the same length? They're not. Opposite sides are equal. So if we take a look at the 2 sides here that are opposite each other, so on the screen you see I've highlighted them in blue. These sides are equal. They're the same measurement. But these 2 are not, the ones that are next to or adjacent to each other. But if we take a look at the sides that are opposite here on the screen, it's highlighted in yellow. These 2 sides are the same length. So for a rectangle, opposite sides are equal. For a square, all four sides are equal. So what we're going to do is I want you to go back to your tree map. Underneath your drawing of a rectangle, we're going to add some of the important features of a triangle. I'm sorry, of a rectangle. So we know it has four sides. So we'll add that underneath your picture. And then on the next line, we're going to add that it has four corners. And something that is important that I want you to add is that opposite sides are equal, right? And that's something that we did not see for the square. All sides were equal for our square. Here, it's only opposite sides are equal. And now I want you to, again, look around the room, maybe pause the video, take a look around your house, and I want you to find one item that is in the shape of our rectangle. Find one real item that's in the shape of a rectangle. When you found that item, I'd like you to write it on the line. Now, I'm going to show you some of the things that I found that can be in the shape of a rectangle. So we have envelopes. And what about our phones, right? Opposite sides are equal. A picture frame can be in the shape of a rectangle. A tabletop can be in the shape of a rectangle. And a door. So here are items that I found that can be in the shape. What items did you find? So remember, write one item that you found or that you know of that is rectangular in shape on that last line in your tree map. So I'm going to put a table. But you might have something else, and that's perfectly fine. Remember, you're writing your item on this last line.